How's it going, guys? Yuuki here, and welcome to another episode of the Stanley Parable. So, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Oh, here we are. So, where should I go? The left or the right? I'm gonna go follow the narrator now. It closed behind me. Weird. Hmm. This door is locked too. Weird. And there's that computer. Let's go. All the doors are still locked. Oh, is this the meeting room?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Is my boss even there? Let's see this room. Can't interact with that. Meeting room. Floor 4. Oh my god, that's so many floors. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. So they have a whiteboard manager? What? Hey, did somebody die? RIP friends. Okay. Let's go. Broom closet. I can't even enter it. Wow.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Well, I don't even have an option here, right? Why is it so white outside? Weird. Wait, what? There's a window here and there's a... How is this possible? It's unrealistic. Well, that's interesting. It's like a whole new game. Well, oh my god. Is this secretly a horror game? Oh wait. I can't interact with that. How about this door? Can't either. Hi plant, how are you doing? Well, it makes a noise when I walk on it.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
Nice
life.
picture.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
But where?
Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Code. Didn't work. This seems dirty. Should I do it?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
I don't want to speak in the receiver. Can I go out here?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
I just
Please
hate you.
speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I don't care.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
What the?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Seems like I got to go through it again. And no changes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
It's
disbelief,
repeating again. Oh, what the?
behave exactly as Stanley would.
What?
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did. Are you trolling me? There's no changes. What?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'll go to the right this time.
No!
Oh my
Why
God.
did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
What? Okay. What just happened? Oh my, what happened here?
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work.
No,
Why?
I didn't.
For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely?
Just
to willingly destroy
shut
all
up.
of my work? I don't know.
Shut up.
What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
I can't even advance here.
No, I have to. I have to shut the game down.
Don't you dare. No.
I have to.
No. Oh my God. I'm creeped out. Oh my God. What? Oh. Is this a horror game or something?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
You destroyed it.
It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
But I'm not
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Oh, you are.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
I don't care. What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door
Is
on
that
his
me?
left.
Is that? Oh, that's Stanley. I'll go on the right.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
What the?
I need you to walk through the door.
End? Really?
Are you listening to me?
Seriously?
Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
Stanley, this is important.
Are you seriously ending
The
the
story
game?
needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me?
Well, you shut down the game a while
Are you
ago,
there?
so it's not
Are you
my
listening
fault.
to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to
And now I'm a
decide.
disembodied soul
Time to make sure
flowing
your
out
choice
here.
is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Seriously, is this the end?
As much
Really?
time as you need.
Oh, a loading screen. Now what? Oh, another. It restarted. What? It's locked. Am I replaying the
All
game?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I couldn't find a trace of my co-workers. Oh, what? 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 Oh, 420. Well, I'm gonna go then. Close all the doors behind me. I'm a gentleman, you know? And there's that weird room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. All locked.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
Apparently
wave
not.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Of course I will. Weird. Broom closet. Oh, what? What? It actually opened. Oh my god. Wow.
Stanley stepped into the
Hello?
broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Broom. Can't do anything.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I don't think so.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As
There
it
should be a
is,
secret
he's
here.
literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What? Nothing's working.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes, I am.
Standing around doing nothing?
Yeah,
Why?
because
Please
I want
offer
to
me
hate.
some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because I hate you. I don't want to follow you. Seriously?
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Well,
I
you're
never would
talking
have
about
thought to
it, so
mention it.
that story advanced.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching
Yes.
path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
You sound like an idiot. Wait,
Stanley
seriously,
was
this
fat
guy
and
again?
ugly and really, really stupid.
How
He
dare
probably
you?
only got the job because of a family
How
connection. That's
dare
how
you?
stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
How dare you?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
No, I ain't.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
I'm
In a
alive here.
situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
You're creeping me out, bro.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He
I
or she
ain't
has
dead.
fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological
Shut up.
vulnerabilities. It's indicative
Okay,
of
I'll go.
the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their coming to a staircase. Stanley walked
how?
upstairs to his boss's office.
Wait, there's a downway. What? There's a downstairs. Hello? Hello?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
No, you're crazy.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
It's a game.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Really?
This is all a dream.
Really?
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons.
Shut
I
up.
may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Seriously?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid?
What?
And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
You're a stalker.
Now
Stop
the voice was
talking.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley
Wait, what
is
if I
as
go back?
awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Yes,
Did
it
the voice
is.
not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely,
you're a part of
if
the
he could
game.
just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He
Wake
felt
up.
the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
I don't want to push
Please.
buttons.
It's all
That's
I
why I
want.
left, right?
I want my apartment and my wife
I don't have a
and my
wife yet.
job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No, I ain't. Well, we're still here. This is not a dream.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone
This is
hear my
horrible.
voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman
What?
named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What?
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh, what the?
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
You're a game
I am
character.
sane.
You're not normal.
I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life.
No, it wouldn't.
She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Restart again? Really? Okay, one last run and then we'll end the episode. What the? Oh, there. Is this an Easter egg or a secret? Oh my god. I'll get that ending. And we're here at the rooms. Are there any changes here? Executive bathroom. Wait, was that black on the door before? Hi, Planty. It's different.
Stepping into his manager's office,
really
Stanley
different.
was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have
Wait,
known
I have a crosshair
was that the
now. What the-
keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Yes.
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
How did you know?
2845. But of course,
1,
Stanley couldn't
2,
possibly have
3,
known this.
4. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code
there's the
by
answer.
sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This looks like a studio. I'll disobey the next one.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Okay.
Why did he feel this now?
I'm not gonna
when
follow
for
you.
years it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
Of course it wouldn't. I'd say this game looks cool, even if it's aged.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this
Never mind.
hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. Nope, still on board with death.
I'm going back again. And... where should I go? No, I'm gonna disobey.
The door behind him was not shut.
Yep.
Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
But I don't want to.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and
Yep,
willingly confront his death.
I am. Hello? So I'll just jump in here? Should I just jump in? Okay. I'm falling. Loading screen. And...
As the machine whirred into motion
What?
and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
How did I not
demise,
die from that
he
fall?
reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the
my
bigger
God.
picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this really is. Perhaps his death was of no great
This is
loss,
dangerous.
like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned
This is really
and willingly
dangerous.
accepted this violent
No.
end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No. Sorry. No. Okay.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led
it's
helplessly
Karen.
into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh, what? There. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Usual.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. He's stupid. Oh, this
When
looks
every path
really
you can walk
nice.
has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making
Wait, what?
life
Is
the
this
same.
the...
Do you see now? Do you see that
a museum.
Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Really? There's a... What? The office. They're locked, huh? Oh, here. Selection of the sounds used throughout the game. When buttons are pressed, each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Okay. Here are the computers. Off. Is my name there? I can't read it. Credits. Okay. What's in here? The office. Maintenance room. Is this just a museum? It's kinda creepy. There's no sounds or anything. Exit. I'll explore this later.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Off.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
No?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to
Oh, no.
me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program
Oh,
before
are
they
you talking
both
to me
fail.
as Yuuki,
Push
not
escape
Stanley?
and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward,
Like this?
you'll be
Yeah, I
walking
wanna
someone else's
continue.
path. Stop now. It will be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
I'm dead? Am I dead? Am I dead? Hello? 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 Am I seriously dead? Hello? Okay, nothing? Really? I'm going back. Begin the game. Skip. So we've reached two or three endings. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Um, let's continue again in the next episode. Of course, okay. Anyway, I don't know how to end an episode right now. So I'll just end it with a black screen in 3, 2, 1.